Hey everybody, welcome back to Listography. I'm Kramzer here, and I am here to give you my staff picks of the week. First off, we're going to talk about the new record by Haim, Women in Music Part 3, or Wimpy as they call it. If you like Haim, this is their third album. I believe their first album is still a bit better than this one, but this one is really good. It's a lot different than the first one. They've been getting that Fleetwood Mac comparison since they started, which I've never fully agreed with. But this one is definitely going in a bit of a different direction. It's their most modern sounding record, and without a doubt, they also are able to pull off a lot of different dimensions on this album, a lot of different genres, kind of seamlessly and moving with a nice like fluid connectivity. I can't really put my finger on it, what's connecting all this stuff as much, but there is a lot of different elements and genres. There's surfer rock, there's hip hop, there's kind of like almost like a bit of a garage rock element. You do still have those Fleetwood Mac things as well, especially on the song Leaning on You. It sounds like it's lifted right from a Lindsey Buckingham guitar tone and part from Rumors, but it's really good. Whole thing has their kind of classic Los Angeles foggy malaise, and it's that way in nature, but there's a lot more active music going on behind it. Kind of vocally channeling everything from Joni Mitchell to Sheryl Crow, maybe a little bit of Lou Reed in between. My one little flaw, the problem I have with it, is some of the songs are too short. Just as they're kind of getting momentum, they kind of just abruptly end. And a big problem I have with this album, which doesn't quite put it in contention of like an album of the year contender, is two worst songs on the album are the first song, Los Angeles, and the last song, FUBT. So that always kind of influences me on how I feel about an album when it starts and ends poorly. But this is a pretty good record. Try to check out I Know Alone and Gasoline to get your feet wet. Next staff pick is going to be no surprise. If you watched the Bob Dylan Listography video, Jason and myself are pretty enthusiastic about his newest release, Rough and Rowdy Ways. Also a shout out to Jason for giving me this one. He could have easily put it on his staff picks for last week. And this is a really good album. Obviously it's on staff picks. So it's got a very familiar sound if you followed the trilogy of his cover albums from this. It's got like almost kind of that laid back, almost Leonard Cohen vibe to it. The low end sounds really good on this album and the ones before this. And has this really nice soft steel pedal and really nice subtle muting throughout and create this like kind of dense, thick, dark, ghostly vibe. Right off the bat, you've got I Contain Multitudes, and it goes without saying that the lyrics drive this album. Jason in the Listography video said that this might be his best lyrical album ever, and I don't really think that's hyperbole. It could be. I'm not ready to say it is. I mean, it's really hard to go through all the lyrics through Dylan's work, but this is absolutely phenomenal. They're really like dense, saturated proverbs. Not a lot of subtext or metaphors or symbolism. Just really good imagery and style to them. Kind of taking on a lot of different personas and characters from like Black Rider and False Prophet. Best song in the album is the first one, I Contain Multitudes. Maybe one of my favorite songs of the year so far. It's got this really nice fluttering twilighty Spanish guitar sound that he's been doing lately. It also shows up on Black Rider, and the song's really good. It's kind of about all of his contradictions and all of the multifacets of his life, and kind of almost calling out himself from the early days about what he believed in, and maybe it wasn't quite true, or maybe he contradicted it later, but it's really good. It's a very soft, mellow album, and it does have a couple of nice old blues house jammers like Goodbye Jimmy Reed and False Prophet. Probably could use a little bit more of variation in tempo, especially within some songs, but this is just as good as everyone is saying it is. Rough and Rowdy Ways by Bob Dylan. Really, really good. So thanks everybody for tuning in to my couple of staff picks this week. Stay tuned for our staff picks next week. We also got a couple of nice listographies coming up, including one that has been requested for quite a bit. We will be doing Pink Floyd pretty soon, so stay tuned to that. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the bell, subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know what you think of the new Bob Dylan album and the new album by Haim as well.